Hey, this is David Benjamin from Healthy Wild Free, and in today's video I want to share with you the negative effects of smoking, whether you're smoking firsthand or you're receiving secondhand smoke by being in the environment of someone smoking, and what you can do to mitigate the damage from smoking to your lungs, your cardiovascular system, your arteries, your heart, and the health of your blood and body as well. So first things first, smoking causes oxidative damage and stress on the body. Oxidative damage is caused by free radicals. Essentially, this means that oxygen has gone haywire. So oxygen, which is transported throughout your entire body through your lymphatic system and your red blood cells, is essential because it's the number one nutrient you need for life. So it's the number one nutrient, and your body utilizes this all the time for health and energy and mitochondrial function, DNA, and so much more. So smoking causes the breakdown of oxygen to become essentially toxic, is the best way to describe it. So oxygen, when inhaled, is good. It fills your lungs, and then it goes into your body, into your blood, into your lymphatic system, and so much more, and your body utilizes this in a healthy manner. However, when you're smoking, you're essentially doing the opposite of that. So you're choking out the oxygen in your body and putting smoke where oxygen should be, right? So you're, instead of breathing in oxygen, you're breathing in smoke, which is literally the opposite. So it affects the body in a variety of negative ways. It hardens your arteries, meaning that they're stiffer, and the blood flow to and from your heart is more difficult because that tube or funnel doesn't allow for as much mobility for blood to flow to and from the heart. So that's a big downside, because heart attacks and heart disease is the number one cause of death in the United States. The second thing is it negatively impacts your lung health, because the compounds that are emitted when you breathe in smoke are carcinogenic, meaning they're cancer-causing chemicals. So your body is quite literally taking these in, and then your body has to clean up these free radical agents that are caused by the smoking byproducts. So the smoking byproducts, the tar, the nicotine, the formaldehyde, benzene, other different ammonia, different chemicals that are within the formulation or processing of cigarettes and or potentially cigars, are definitely detrimental to the health and well-being of your body as a whole. So we know the damaging effects of smoking cigarettes and smoking tobacco as a whole. Tobacco is actually, oddly enough, medicinal and beneficial in certain ways, but smoking it may not be the best way to utilize it in your body. So what can we do? So there was a study done by the University of Milan in Italy back in 1992, and they looked at Una De Gato. Una De Gato is an herb from the Amazon rainforest. It's otherwise known as cat's claw. It translates from Spanish to English. It's cat's claw, Una De Gato, same herb. And they found that after giving smokers Una De Gato for simply 2 weeks, they found that their blood returned to normal and their urine returned to normal. So their urine had different metabolites and nicotinide compounds from the nicotine and other chemical byproducts that completely cleaned out of their urine, meaning the Una De Gato was completely removing them or destabilizing those toxic things within the body so that they were no longer toxic. So essentially, instead of the body having to remove these with no help, the Una De Gato facilitated in that, so that the urine was completely back to normal. In just 2 weeks' time, the urine was back to normal. In addition to that, their markers in their blood were actually back to normal as well. So the mutagenic substances found in the blood, which mutagenic substances came from the smoking, the nicotine, the smoking tobacco. Mutagenic substances harm your DNA, they harm your cells, they're cancer causing, they create all sorts of havoc in the body, free radical damage, oxidative stress, and so much more. These mutagenic substances were completely removed out of the blood. So their blood was clean and their urine was clean. So the liquid in the body and the liquid that comes out of the body, essentially, were back to normal in just 2 weeks' time by utilizing Una De Gato. So that was it's one of the most promising studies as far as reversing the damage or the mitigating the effects of smoking, and it's something to really pay attention to. So if you have smoked at all, or you lived with someone that smoked, or maybe your neighbor smoked, or you grew up with a parent that smoked, or an aunt or an uncle or someone, I would highly recommend taking Una De Gato, especially if you have any lung issues, coughing, wheezing, shortness of breath, these types of things. So Una De Gato is absolutely incredible. And I will say that many years ago, one of my health coaches shared with me that if you want to gain your health back, or if you want to see your health come back to life and you're having issues, you can get your health back by doing the opposite of what created it. So an example of that would be someone who's obese, right? If you've gained weight that is undesirable, you ate too much and you moved too little. So what do? You do the opposite. You eat less, higher quality too, that's a big thing, and you move more, okay? So by getting your body back, by rejuvenating your body, you can get your lungs back, your heart back, your immune system back, your cardiovascular system back, by doing the opposite of what created it. So obviously quitting smoking would be a great first step, but you also have to mitigate the damage and the negative effects of what the smoking actually caused in the first place. So Una De Gato, as far as any other plant compound out there, has the most research behind it as far as cleaning up the blood and the urine and actually showing the biomarkers are clean and the body has been rejuvenated as far as the lungs, the blood, and the urine. So I highly recommend taking Una De Gato if you have smoked or if you are smoking, just to begin the cleanup process in the body and do your best to quit smoking. Additionally, it's important to understand the effects of free radicals and oxidative stress. There's another herb from the Amazonian region that actually pairs very well with Una De Gato. It's called Sangre De Grado. Sangre De Grado is known as dragon's blood if you translate it from Spanish to English. It is the highest rated orac, that's O-R-A-C, antioxidant in the entire world. ORAC stands for oxygen radical absorbance capacity. What that means is that it has a high antioxidant capacity measured within this is in this case a tree sap. So what's important to understand about this is oxygen radical absorbance capacity deals with oxidative stress and damage directly, okay? So it's kind of like water taking over something that's dry, like it's the opposite. So ORAC antioxidants are the opposite of oxidative stress. What does smoking do? It creates oxidative stress. You're literally inhaling carcinogenic chemicals, compounds, tar, nicotine, all these things into your lungs. You're literally inhaling oxidative stress. So oxygen radical absorbance capacity, ORAC antioxidants, counteract that and have an opposing effect to that oxidative stress caused by smoking and help to reverse the damage. So Sangre De Grado is the #1 highest ORAC rated antioxidant in the entire world that has ever been measured out of the probably tens of thousands of plants, maybe even hundreds of thousands of plants that have been studied now. It has an ORAC value of like 2.9 million. The second one is clove, and that has an ORAC value of like 300,000. So it's literally like almost 10 times as high of an ORAC value. So it's quite literally the #1 oxidative reversing plant you can possibly use because it has the highest ORAC value. So what I love about it is that it also pairs very well with Una De Gato. Una De Gato supports your red blood cells as well. Your red blood cells have a protein called hemoglobin, and hemoglobin is an iron-rich protein that carries oxygen throughout your entire body through your red blood cells. So Una De Gato has that. Sangre De Grado supports your white blood cells, your leukocytes and your lymphocytes, and this helps to the immune system repair and fight any of the damage that has been caused, the carcinogenic damage, the oxidative damage, so on and so forth. So between Una De Gato with red blood cell support and Sangre De Grado with white blood cell support, you're supporting the rejuvenation of cells and the cleanup of the carcinogenic compounds in the body, in the blood, in the urine, and in your cells, as well as in your lungs. So both of them work together very well to reduce inflammation. They both are anti-inflammatory, meaning the effects of your lungs, the inflammation and oxidation in this region of the body, which is not good because your lungs and heart are both right here, reduces, so it calms the lungs so you can breathe easier. It softens the arterial walls so that the blood flow to and from the heart is better, which means the oxygen transports better to and from your heart as well. So your heart is healthier, your lungs are healthier, you can breathe better, you can move better, you'll feel a better sense of life and well-being and vitality. And these just simply pair together very well. So if you're looking for the solution to reverse the damage caused by smoking on your lungs, take Una De Gato and Sangre De Grado together, and I recommend them in the formula Radiate 21. Radiate 21 includes Sangre De Grado as well as Una De Gato. And it also includes 3 other of the highest ORAC rated antioxidants in the world: clove, oregano, and cinnamon. So literally 4 of the top 10 highest rated ORAC antioxidants in the world are in this formula, and that's going to give your body so much antioxidant support, oxygen radical absorbance capacity, that all of the oxygenation pathways of your body in your blood and your lymphatic system from your lungs and heart to your body, to your entire body, are healed and rejuvenated by utilizing high-powered ORAC antioxidants. And that's exactly what Radiate 21 is, including Sangre De Grado, the #1, clove, the #2, oregano and cinnamon, which are I think 4 and 7 on the list, depending on the list that you look at. But Sangre De Grado and clove #1 and 2. So this formula is really good for just lung support in general, supporting the lymphatic system and the rejuvenation of the body's cells and the cleanup, right? This formula also has mint, clove, cedar, lemongrass, garlic. These are all lung supportive ingredients that open up the pathways. And the best part about it is it's a liquid capsule. So the liquid capsule actually, you take it in your mouth, and here's a huge benefit. If you have been smoking or smoke, I have to actually open a new bottle. I take them myself, so I'm always opening new bottles. This right here is a liquid capsule. So that liquid capsule, you actually just take it and you put it in your mouth and you let it melt under your tongue. And as you let it melt, the Sangre De Grado actually melt in your mouth. These oils, the clove, cinnamon, neem, garlic, oregano, lime, lemon, orange, these melt in your mouth and they benefit your oral biome. They benefit your gums and your teeth. So another downside of smoking is that it really harms the health of your teeth and your gums. Receding gums are when your gums move too low or too high and your teeth are more exposed and they're more likely to have cavities. Sangre De Grado is actually, oddly enough, beneficial for receding gums. So it's a resin, it's a tree sap. So when this capsule melts in your mouth, you just swish it around your mouth and it benefits your gum and your teeth. And then it's opening up your airways, right? And your nose and your mouth. So your breathing and your lung capacity, you can actually feel it when it melts. You can breathe easier. So I highly recommend this if you've been smoking or you've lived with a smoker or were neighbors with a smoker or just had to breathe in smoke on the job or whatever it was. Get Radiate 21 and get your lungs and your heart and your blood and your body back in health. The Una De Gato and Sangre De Grado are going to do most of the work, but the neem, the garlic, the clove, the cinnamon, the oregano, the lemongrass are all going to open up your oxygen pathways, your lungs and your oxygen pathways in your body from your lungs and your lymphatic system and help flush the toxic, carcinogenic, cancer-causing compounds. So that's it for this video. Check it out at radiate21.com. Once again, there's the bottle. You can see more at radiate21.com. We'll put the link below along with more information, articles and whatnot. And I will see you in the next video. Have a great day. Make sure to like, comment, leave your questions below if you have any, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.